Hi everyone, I'm Miranda and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm very excited to be starting some of my Christmas content today with my first Christmas gift guide for you all. I will also be doing a big bookish gift guide next week on Tuesday, but today I thought I'd do a little stocking stuffer gift guide. So I've got some book ideas that will fit in a Christmas stocking, but I've also got a few other lovely little gifts that I think would make perfect stocking stuffers. Some of these would be great Secret Santa present ideas as well. So I hope you enjoy getting a bit festive with me today, and I hope you like my recommendations. Let's dive in. I'm going to tell you about the books that I think would be perfect for the stocking first. So first up, you know how I love poetry anthologies, and this is such a beautiful little volume that I think would be wonderful to find in your Christmas stocking. It's called Poems for Stillness, and it's edited by Gabby Morgan. You can see how attractive that cover is. And this is such a nice little collection. I've actually had this on my bedside table and I've been reading it a bit every night. I've already got some favourite poems from here that I like to reread quite often in the week. And they are the sort of poetry that really help you to just calm down, take a deep breath, and find a bit of comfort and solace from the beautiful words that are collected in here. Christmas and the festive season generally can be quite a hectic time, so I think having a little collection like this would be perfect, especially maybe to enjoy in that strange in-between time after Christmas and before New Year's Eve. I think this would be such a nice little volume of poetry to curl up with. There's some nice categories that the poems are divided into. So for instance, meditations as a category, then nature, friendship and gratitude, prayers and blessings, sky and sea, and peace and consolation. So definitely some poetry that will help you to find a little bit of quiet and calm in the winter holidays. And then I love these little Pan Macmillan collector's editions. They're the perfect size to fit in a Christmas stocking as well. I think the Sherlock Holmes stories are so much fun to curl up with in the cold winter evenings, but they publish a lot of classic books in this series, so you can have a look and see if you can spot a favourite of yours to give someone. I think that would be a really nice little gift. Then I was very lucky to receive this from Slightly Foxed Publishers, and I think again it would make a wonderful stocking stuffer. It's quite a slim volume, pocket-sized again, and it's a Countryman's Winter Notebook by Adrian Bell, who is a wonderful nature writer, and this little volume collects his essays on the winter season. A few are Christmas specific, but there are many that aren't. It's just a lovely ode to this season. And again, I think for any nature lovers in your life or for any fans of Slightly Foxed magazine, this will make a really beautiful little gift and one that can be enjoyed by a lot of different ages as well. I think this would make a nice present for a grandparent even, but also for either parent would be really nice. And I love it myself, so a really versatile kind of gift, I think, this one, which is brilliant. Then I like to often find a little vintage book to go in a stocking stuffer. So either a lovely puffin children's classic like Ballet Shoes by Noel Stratfield, which is one of my favourites, and I like to reread this book at Christmas time, partly because I often think of the ballet at Christmas, with the Nutcracker, for instance, being such a seasonal delight, but there are also some nice Christmassy bits in Ballet Shoes. So I really enjoy collecting vintage puffins. A lot of people who love books like a vintage puffin themselves. So trying to find a nice classic is a really nice gift, I think. And you can often find them listed pretty reasonably as well, so it's quite fun to try and track down a lovely but also an affordable puffin. And you can get some lovely adult vintage penguin books too. I think the green ones, the crime ones, are quite fun to give at Christmas because, of course, a cozy mystery is just something that I think is so fun to curl up with in the winter. So looking out for the green, old-fashioned penguin classics will help you to track down a good crime one. So a cozy mystery is always a real Christmas classic generally, and finding a vintage one is just a little fun touch, I think, and makes your gift a little bit more unique, hopefully, too. Then I always like to have a little anthology at Christmas time. This one I've chosen as a stocking stuffer because it's quite a compact, small volume, and it's just the Everyman's Pocket Classics Christmas stories. So this is a nice collection of stories from many different writers all around the world, and I think it would help put anyone in the sort of festive and holiday spirit to read this, and it would be a lovely gift to pull out of the stocking on Christmas Day. I love to get books. I mean, I love to get books any time of year, but it's such a treat for me always to get a new book on Christmas Day. I mean, at least a new book, but the sort of new book that you can just dip in and out of quite easily is really nice to have on Christmas morning. And this is a sort of perfect book for that, nice anthology. Then I've already mentioned Slightly Foxed magazine. I'm such a fan of this quarterly literary magazine, and slipping the latest volume in a Christmas stocking I think would be such a nice gift if you want to maybe introduce someone to the magazine. You think they'd enjoy it. Again, this can be given to so many different types of people who enjoy reading or are interested in literary magazines, and I think that this would just be a lovely one to curl up with on Christmas Day itself, and also be fun to read throughout the winter. So I think always the gift of a Slightly Foxed magazine is a really lovely thing to do. Of course, you could go the whole hog and give someone an actual subscription for the year, but if you just want to test out one magazine and see if they enjoy it, then this will make a really nice gift for them. Another literary magazine I'm really fond of is the Scribbler. I've spoken about this and Slightly Foxed on my YouTube channel before, but again, I think these would just be so nice to go in a Christmas stocking. The Scribbler is especially good if you're interested in vintage books. They always write about a mix of children's as well as adult vintage books, and it's just a great magazine to want to send you off finding lots and lots of different books, which can be a good or a bad thing, however you look at it. But this magazine has introduced me to so many different vintage sort of writers that I didn't know about before, and it's just a really fun magazine. Less well known than Slightly Foxed as well, so if there are any vintage book lovers in your life, this would be a lovely gift for them. And again, you could get the subscription for the year or just get the latest magazine. Finally, I love these. They're sort of, instead of a card, they're a little book of poetry, and they're published by Candlestick Press. I'll take this one out of the wrapper actually, so you can see it. And the idea is that you send them, instead of a card, they always come with a little bookmark that you can write your note on. But I think these make beautiful stocking stuffers. I think they're also quite a nice Secret Santa type gift as well. And this one I picked up this year because I thought it sounded really fun. It's called Christmas Movies, a Double Bill of Festive Poems. And it's poetry inspired by classic Christmas films. And so, for instance, there's a poem on the Chronicles of Narnia, for instance, and just lots of sort of fun poems. And I think that that's a really nice combination. I love watching classic Christmas movies during the festive season, and I love Christmas poetry, so it's really fun to blend the two with this idea. But Candlestick Press do lots of different types of Christmas little poetry booklets like this, so you can have a look and see whichever one takes your fancy. Anyway, those are my sort of book ideas for a Christmas stocking, but I've also got a stocking full of other ideas here too. So I thought I'd share these with you. These are very traditional sorts of gifts that I've given my mum and my mum has given to me over all of my life, basically. We tend to buy each other the same sorts of things, and the same sorts of things crop up in our stockings. For instance, a festive tea towel. This is a real classic for both of us. I love having seasonal tea towels. I know that maybe sounds a bit boring, but I actually adore having nice tea towels. And I love this one by Thornback and Peel. It's a lovely Christmas pudding and holly and rabbit pattern on it that I think is just so sweet. So a new Thornback and Peel tea towel is a real Christmas staple in our household. And then, of course, some lovely tea is always a lovely thing to find in my stocking. I'm such a big tea drinker, and this one is wild red bush tea from the Rare Tea Company. I think they do some of the best tea. I love tea from the Rare Tea Company. It is a bit more expensive though, so it's always a really nice Christmas treat to find in my stocking. And then Emma Bridgewater is always another favourite of ours. Getting a new mug at Christmas is a real tradition as well in our household, and her little sort of half-sized mugs are so sweet and they go so well in a Christmas stocking. I've got her full size mug here, you can see, with the beautiful poinsettia, and this is the half size. And it just makes a really sweet little gift to put in a stocking, either for an adult or for a child, I think. And I really, really love her Christmas patterns. They always make me feel so very festive. And then I adore Burt's Bees. I think that their lip balms are great, but I love so much of the skincare stuff that they do. Burt's Bees is really reasonable, but I really like the quality. So this is the sort of thing that I would get as maybe a Secret Santa gift, but also as stocking stuffers for family and friends. Just so many people find Burt's Bees things useful, and they're good for lots of different sort of skincare types as well. So I really am a big fan of Burt's Bees, and I love the little gift packages that they do that just make Christmas shopping really easy. This is the type of gift that I'd maybe give to people I don't know all that well, or you know, if you're just starting to date someone and you go to their sort of family for Christmas, this is the sort of thing I've fallen back on to give sort of random relations I've never met before, but you can sort of count on people enjoying this kind of gift. So a safe option, but I think a really nice one still, and I really like Burt's Bees products myself, so I'm always happy to find some in my Christmas stocking. And then, what else do I have in here? Oh, another book actually, the Almanac. This is for 2022. So a seasonal guide to the year ahead. I think this is just, again, a perfect thing to find in your Christmas stocking. It makes a great gift for so many different people, and it's a lovely way to live a bit more mindfully and be a bit more in tune with the seasons through the year ahead too. I think it's nice to keep a book like this on your bedside table and be able to refer to it regularly. So I really like this series and recommend it. And then I got this allotment calendar last year, and I loved it so much that I bought it again for this coming year. It's exactly the same, but I just really liked it, and I've had so many people ask me about this actually. It's illustrated by Emily Sutton, who is one of my favourite Yorkshire artists, and each season is just so beautifully done, really sort of nature inspired, every month of the year. The illustrations, like I said, are the same as last year's calendar, but I just really enjoyed using this one this past year, so I was really happy to buy it again for 2022, and I think it will make a lovely gift. Again, a nice Secret Santa type gift and a nice thing to find in your Christmas stocking, so I really recommend that. And then, forgetting what I've put in here now. Oh yes, for all of the letter writers amongst you, this is such a fun idea. It's a company called Pigeon, and they've created letters that also sort of incorporate the envelope. They're inspired by origami. I love this set, which is illustrated by Angela Harding, who is another favourite illustrator of mine. I know many of you like her artwork too. And it's just really cleverly done. So the letter folds up to make the envelope as well, and then you just unfold it, and you can see the really lovely illustration as you unfold it, and then inside you would write your letter. So I think that's just such a lovely thing to gift anyone you know who is a bit old-fashioned, maybe, still likes to write letters to people. I think this is such a cute idea. And there are different designs in this little packet. They've also chosen other illustrators as well to do different packs of cards, but I chose the Angela Harding one because I really love her artwork, but it's worth having a look at what else they offer as well. Oh, then I really think that this is quite a cute idea. I picked this up at a local shop. It's a really pretty tin with some fudge inside. I think it would be really nice to buy a pretty tin and maybe make your own fudge and pop it in. And I think that just makes a really sweet gift for friends. It would make a nice Secret Santa gift as well as stocking stuffers. If you have quite a few family members, for instance, you could just buy a few different tins, make something yourself like fudge, which is really easy, and pop it in, and it would just be a nice surprise for Christmas morning. So I would look out always for sweet little tins that you can fill yourself. And then, okay, so I've spoken before about these wonderful wooden ornaments by Elizabeth Harbour, and I have many of her Christmas ornaments which are gorgeous, but I wanted to show you some non-Christmas ones because I think these would be so sweet to find in your Christmas stocking, but it would be ornaments that you could sort of use all through the year. And you can see some of her different ones here. They're very sort of whimsical. They're quite cottagecore inspired, and I think that they are just beautifully done. Let me focus that one. The details are so lovely on them, and I think she's just very, very clever, but she's got lots of different types of beautiful ornaments, so they're really worth having a look at. And then lots of people ask me about the fountain pens that I use, and I really have to recommend Coeco pens, which I think are fabulous. The Coeco Sport pen, you can see it's quite a small size, but it's really light and easy to use, which I love. They're also really very reasonable for fountain pens, and they come in lots of different colours, and I think they would make a wonderful little gift for a stocking stuffer. You can buy the little clip that you see on here as like an additional accessory if you want to clip on, or you can just buy them plain without the clip, whichever you like. I love these pens because you can also choose the nib size. I like a really fine nib, so I usually get either fine or extra fine, but if you like fatter nibs, then there's a lot of range essentially in the type of nibs that you can get. They're so light and great to write with. I really recommend them. They'd be a lovely gift for anyone you know who likes to write or who loves old-fashioned things, like a nice fountain pen. I think that these are just perfect, and you can get them, like I said, in different colours. So there's also green and red, which would be especially nice as Christmas gifts, but there's a whole range, so it's really well worth having a look. And I just adore them. I use Coeco all the time. My luxury sort of favourite fountain pen is always Caran d'Ache, but for kind of everyday use, then I really do recommend Coeco. I think the quality is great. I love how you can change the nib size, and the different colours are so nice as well. I think that this style too has been going since like the 1930s, so it's quite an old-fashioned style, and I personally really love that because I love the interwar era. Then finally, what is always in the toe of stockings in our household is a Terry's Christmas orange. Christmas just wouldn't be Christmas without a Terry's orange in the toe of the stocking. So I had to include this just for my own tradition. Frankly, I find a real orange is a bit more boring. Give me the chocolate version, but of course you could put a real orange in the toe of the stocking. That's very traditional. But I do love my Terry's chocolate orange, so that will always be in my stocking. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed these ideas for little Christmas gifts that are great stocking stuffers. Let me know if any of these in particular appeal to you, but also do remember to tune in again next week, where I'll be sharing my very big Christmas book gift guide that I hope you'll enjoy as well. So thank you so much for watching. Extra big thank you to the people who have supported me on Buy Me a Coffee this week with teas. They've been really lovely surprises, so extra big thanks to all of you, but also thank you for all of the lovely comments on my last video. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. And for anyone who is involved with the Comfort Book Club and who has been reading along the Diary of a Provincial Lady this month, then I will put a link in the video description box, or I'll be linking to everything I mentioned, but I'll put a link there about how you can record a voice message for our discussion that will be going live next Friday. So if you'd like to record a little voice message that might be included in our discussion, then do check out all of the instructions to do that, which I'll put in the description box. I will need it by next Wednesday, so if you'd like to contribute, do bear that in mind. But it'd be great to include some of your thoughts, so I hope some people will send some in, but I'm looking forward to that anyway. But I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Happy Friday, everyone, and take care. Goodbye.